understanding how to be in control of the conversational space and not letting it control you has everything to do with the chemical element, which is what happens when we're triggered. And when we think about a negative trigger or a negative situation where we're being judged, where we're being powered over, where we don't feel that our voice is being fully heard or appreciated, we actually get a negative trigger called cortisol. And the cortisol literally shuts down any ability to think strategically, any ability to open up our brain and what's called our executive thinking, which happens to be in our prefrontal cortex. Once we are triggered with that chemical trigger, it's called the amygdala hijack, which we are all very familiar with, and I'm sure you've heard that term. In addition to the amygdala hijack happening, we also have what we know as a physical trigger that sometimes happens with our body language, and it is being read by the other people. And it could be a frown on your face, it could be the closure of your hands tightening up, it could be pulling your body language away from the other person. This is all happening unconsciously. And the third thing that happens is that emotional trigger, where your emotions are really what's driving your behaviors. In the emotions of I don't feel valued, the emotions of negativity coming at me, the emotions of being powered over, the emotions of not feeling valued, all of those are working together and in conjunction and are happening at an unconscious level. So this visual is a really beautiful visual for you to take a step back and think about what is it that I need and want out of this conversation, and think about the fact that you were just chemically triggered and your amygdala hijack just took over, as it did with me. And then take stock of your body language. Open your body language back up, lean into the individual, and then think about the emotion that's happening, that you're not feeling valued and that they're not appreciating what you bring to the conversational space or that strategic conversation, and change it into something positive. So rewire your brain, think positive, and that will help you open up your prefrontal cortex and get better access to it. And when you learn that these triggers are what control how you show up in the strategic conversational space and that you have control over them, by slowing down and thinking of these three things that are happening to you, you can show up much differently. There's much more to this conversation and there's much more to this skill set, but this is just the beginning.